Alrighty, so we are going to be doing a year in review here with Soulless Gaming. We're just going to go around and talk about everybody's top 3 games that we had for the year. My name is Spencer. I am the oldest of the Soulless Gaming brothers. We have 3 of the other brothers here. We can just go around. You guys can just state who you are. We have Hunter here, I guess.
I'm Hunter. I am the third brother, so 2 under Spencer.
I'm Hayden. I am the 4th brother, so 3 under Spencer.
And then I'm Preston. I'm right under Spencer. Second.
What? Okay.
This whole time he's just sitting under there.
There I am.
We just thought we would go and we play a lot of games. Obviously, we've talked a lot about games on our channel. We have a lot of good videos from Hunter, who's been our main video maker for the channel. But we like to talk about some games we played this year that came out this year, and maybe some other games we played along the way. So right now, actually, we'd like to go and just do a little bit of a little round table of games that we're playing currently, and things we're just kind of interested in. So if anybody wants to start with that.
I could
Yeah,
jump
sure.
in. Oh, chill, Preston.
I was gonna say because mine's probably the shortest.
Yeah, true.
Okay, Preston.
Yeah. So right now, I just got into Hogwarts Legacy, kind of late to the game. Hunter has it on PC, and we all started doing the Steam family sharing. So
Thank you, Gabe.
Yeah, thanks, Gabe.
Newell.
Thanks,
Gabe
Gabe.
Newell. MVP? No, sometimes.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, I mean he likes to take our money, so.
That's
I like to give him my money.
But this time, I mean, he went against that because I mean I would have had to buy Hogwarts Legacy, but here I am playing Hunter's. He bought it, so yeah, I've been playing that. It's been pretty good, and that's pretty much it. Other than Tarkov, which is what we got back into with the wipe.
The wipe.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that was fun.
Hayden,
The
you said you
wipe.
wanted to say
I don't
something?
know what the wipe is.
I know. I don't want to. I don't want to ask.
The
we
wipe.
don't know
Ask.
about
Big
what
old
the wipe
swipey.
is. No. I'm playing a few games. I feel like I'm a little bit all over the place, but I feel like multiplayer, we all kind of jump in and out of a few of these games. But I know Marvel Rivals is really big right now. We kind of have a squad. Hunter and Preston haven't jumped in on that yet, but it's kind of comfortable, at least for what I'm playing, because it's a lot like Overwatch, but obviously with a lot of characters. And I think the fun of it is like learning these new characters and like seeing what you like and stuff like that. So that, college football 2025, Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. Spencer and I have been playing that. Another Steam family share for the win.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm late to it, kind of like Preston was late to Hogwarts Legacy, but I just hopped on Elden Ring, so kind of wish me luck, I guess, because it's been tough. It's been a lot of work.
Did you get it on sale, by the way?
Yeah, I got it on CD keys. I mean, I didn't get it. My girl got it.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been wanting to hop into that. So games I've been playing. So we just had Christmas, and I actually got Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom,
Ooh,
and
yeah.
been playing that. It's really fun. Shout out to Hayden. Hayden got it for me.
Yep.
So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'm like, I don't know, maybe like 6-ish hours in on that, 7 hours. Just did the first couple of like temples, you could say. Really, really fun. It's just really open world. Like it feels like Breath of the Wild, but it's just different. I don't know. I really like it. So I've been playing that, and then I'm a big Pokemon guy, and they just did a like shiny Rayquaza raid. So I've been helping Hayden out with that. He's been playing that, and then one of our cousins do some of those. So just kind of been playing that recently, and then trying to beat Hogwarts Legacy. Still, I just get too distracted, and so I've been hopping in when Preston isn't playing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Nice. I actually too have just started getting back into Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh,
I only ever got to getting into my house, and into like the common room. I am like the very
Really?
beginning. But I just got out of the common room. I just did my
What house are
first
you?
Hufflepuff.
Me too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
We could be garden buddies together.
Woohoo! But I just spoke to Mrs. or Professor Weasley,
Yep.
Yeah.
so I'm still at the very beginning. But
Wow.
yeah, I just started playing it like 2 days ago, so I was trying it out with my new graphics card, and it's nice. Some other games I've been into recently, like Hayden, I've been Marvel Rivals, been into that a lot. Same with like Galactic, not Galactic,
Survivor.
Deep Rock Galactic, yeah, Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. I am hooked on that game. I cannot stop playing that game. It is a lot like Vampire Survivor, but I like the extra objectives it gives you. I like the world of Deep Rock Galactic. I've played that game a lot. So I like the dwarves, and I like their banter.
Mhm.
I think it's really funny. Been playing a lot of Hell Let Loose. Been playing a lot of Helldivers as well. Yeah, and then Tarkov, and I actually just started playing Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town. I was telling
Uh-oh.
Hayden about that last night because I got that for my girls. Really is for me, but well, I won't tell them
There
that.
you guys go.
Here, this is for you.
I saw it on sale for like $10 on Amazon, and I was like, sweet, I'll get that for them for Christmas. They can open up. It'll be one of their gifts. It's just for all of them. And then a couple of them started playing it, and they really liked it.
And then you heard the music, and you were.
But I never
You were
played.
pulled back in.
I never played that game, and I don't know. I don't recognize any of the music. It's nothing like any of the Harvest Moon music. It's not like dun, 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 dun. It's nothing like that. It's way different. But I really do like the loop of the Harvest Moon games, and it's the same.
Mhm.
It's always just like you plant, you go out into your fields, you get rid of all the crap that you sell it to that guy that comes by at like, I think he comes by like at 4 o'clock, and then you get that stuff. You get tired, you got to go to bed, and over time
Did
you just start.
Natsume make that one? They made all
No,
the
that one
Story of
was
Seasons,
from Marvelous,
Marvelous, yeah.
or-
and I think they also do the Rune Factory games.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Rune Factory and Harvest Moon. I was about to say, if you guys talking about good deals on Switch, if you ever want good deals on Switch games, those games are always on sale, both Rune Factory and
Yeah.
Harvest Moon
Mhm.
games.
well, it's not even there's Story of Seasons, but there's another company that
Story of
makes.
Seasons, yeah.
I think Natsume still owns the rights to the Harvest,
Harvest
Moon,
Moon.
so they still make those games. And I
That's
think
what it
there is one that just came out a year or two ago, maybe. They're on Steam too, so if you have the Steam sale going on, it's those games are on sale for pretty cheap. But other than that, all of course Call of Duty, and
Oh
Just
yeah,
playing
should
those
have thrown
games.
that in there.
so yeah, just playing lots of games, chilling,
He's a chill guy.
just chilling.
Chill guy.
But for now, we got all that out of the way. Got all of our games we've been playing. Let's get into. I want to do just our first, like our third, and then our second favorite game of the year, and then we can go around, do all that, and then do a little bit of honorable mentions of games that didn't quite make that top three, and then we can all just say like what our favorite game was of the year, and we can kind of go into that. So I think I want to start with Hayden, and he can go and give his top, his third and his second favorite game of the year, and then we can all go around, and whoever wants to jump in, we can kind of just go from there.
Sweet. My top three, honestly, when I looked at them, none of them were even in like I feel like top five of the Game Awards. I think is it five that they do, 3 or 5, something like that.
Yeah. Oh, I think it
Um,
is 5, and then they narrow it down.
Yeah. So for sure, I think a few of these should have been in there, but it's also a lot of what I like. So number 3, it's one I haven't even beaten yet. We were just talking about it, but it would be Space Marine 2 Warhammer. It's just like when I started playing it, and I wanted to play with Tanner, our other brother, who's not able to be on the video with us tonight, but I wanted to play it with him, and he kind of went through it so quick. So I know it's good if he kind of committed and just got through it. Which, from what I've heard, and why I want to keep playing it, is that the story is not like overly long, like it's pretty quick. And I feel like it just stood out as a game that tried to do things differently. It's a really cool world, and I feel like it's like art. There's a few times when you just like stand there and you're like, what's going on around you, and then there's like all this hectic crap going all around you, and you just like it kind of gives me the same vibes as Helldivers, where like you just feel like you are that guy and no one
Yeah.
can stop you, and it has like that mindset, and so
Do
I
you feel
really
that
like
way about
that.
Helldivers?
I feel like I can't.
Hold
I
on.
get stopped. I
What game are
Helldivers
you
makes me
playing?
feel like that. Helldivers make me feel like I can.
If-
like, I am that
yeah.
guy.
yeah. It can when you have the right stuff. Yeah.
When everything's clicking, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel it.
And then my second one, it's probably not, definitely not any of yours, but it's College Football 25. Just because I feel like I've been waiting for it for so long, and it's not like it's like the perfect game, but I feel like it's a pretty good start for that huge gap that we had. And it's just such a repetitive, like you can keep playing it, and I've been playing it since I got it, and it's just like, okay, I'll start a new season, I'll do this, I'll do that. And so I think like a football game or any sports game will probably never win like an award for like a game award, maybe other than its category, but not the game of the year. But I did really think that it was great to have it back, and they did a lot of things right, and I heard they're going to do a lot better next year. So
I'm actually
excited.
surprised. I'm looking at the sports award winner for game of the at the Game Awards, and it didn't win it.
Was it a racing game or something?
No, it was FC 25.
Oh, that's weird. I've heard it is good, which I just got it at Game Pass, so I want to try it out. But it's the music, right? All the soccer games always have good music.
That's
true.
They do. Cool. So you said that was you got your number 3.
Number 3, Space Marine 2, and then College Football.
College
was number
football.
2.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Anybody else? Want to go next?
Hunter.
Yeah, I'll go. So actually, all 3 of mine, like my top 3, did not come out in 2024. Believe it or not. Number 3 came out a long time ago. Was actually Banjo-Kazooie. So of course I played this a ton, like growing up, but I never actually beat it. Oh,
I got this for Christmas, by the way.
representation.
This
Not a wireless.
is
Wireless?
a wireless one that works with the
Hey.
Switch.
That's sweet.
Whoa! See, that's what I needed.
Because it's
So I
impossible
never
to play some
actually-
games on the
No, it
Switch
is.
with N64 games.
And I fell off so many, like I played a lot of Banjo-Kazooie. There's so many times where like there's like the slight delay or just like weird angles that they want you to go in that game, and I fell off a lot. But you can like go back in time, and so I use that every once in a while. But anyway, that game was a ton of fun, and it was fun going back through because it was one of those games that we had growing up, and we just I don't know. As I was going through, I'm like, man, I probably spent like, I don't know, 20 hours or more growing up, like playing at the very last level, the Click Clock Forest. And,
I know.
Or TikTok Forest, whatever it is, and TikTok Wood. And that place, like, I beat it in like maybe an hour and a half or so, maybe 2 hours, like doing everything. And I was just thinking, I'm like, man, playing these games now as like an adult, you just want to like beat it and get it through and be like, hey, where's like the last jiggy or whatever? Where's the last note that I need to collect? Whereas a kid, you're just like, you're just a chill guy. You're vibing. You're just going around listening to the music, killing everything, like taking it slow. You come out, you go back in, like you don't care if all of your notes go away. Whereas like an adult, you worry about all that stuff. Like that's like if you have 90 notes, but there's like 10 more that you can't find and whatever. I don't know. It was a different experience, but it was so much fun, and it was actually really, really hard to like the very last boss fight is actually really hard. Anyway, played that game and it was a lot of fun.
I didn't realize that came out in 2024 on the N64 on Switch Online.
Maybe it
That's
counts.
why.
Was
That's
it
why.
at the beginning of the year?
No, it came out in October.
Banjo-Tooie did.
Oh,
right?
maybe it was Banjo-Tooie. Oh, you're right. Your Banjo-Tooie did come out in October. So
And
I
that's
wonder
when
if
I played it. I played it when that got announced, and I was like,
maybe that's
oh,
why.
I need to finish it because I started it when it first came out on the Nintendo Switch, and then I like played it all through and 100%ed it. So that's my number 3. Number 2 is Control, and I talked to Spencer a lot about this game.
Love that game.
Alan Wake 2 came out beginning of this year, or no, it was last year because that was all the Game Awards stuff.
Yeah, it won Game of the Year, I think.
Yeah.
No, Baldur's Gate did.
Baldur's Gate,
Oh,
but it
you're
was in there
in the discussion.
But I started Control kind of when it came out. I think it came to Game Pass for a little bit, and I played it, really liked it, but then just got busy with life. But I came back, and they've added the Ultimate Edition, so I played through that and loved it. Just like great setting, the music was super cool. The combat, it was very similar to me as as Hellblade, right? Senua's Sacrifice.
Senua's Sacrifice, yeah.
Because it's very simple gameplay. Like the loop is very simple, but the way that you can like combo and parry and all that kind of stuff, all the different enemies and control was very satisfying. So it's like a simple concept,
Super satisfying.
but as you upgrade throughout the game, it's really satisfying and a cool story, and it's all in like the Alan Wake universe. And I played that game back in like 2012 or 2010 when the first one came
60
out.
days.
So really enjoyed that. Played the little like DLC. There's like a quest that you do like Alan Wake stuff, so that was really cool. So those are my 2 and 3.
Kind of spooky. That giant white looking
The big freaky guy.
Yeah.
Super freaky, and it's all like dark because it's all Alan Wakey, and you have to use the light to get the darkness away. So I really enjoyed that game. Put, I don't know, 40-50 hours into it. So those are my top 2. Well, 2 and 3.
Yeah. I can go next.
All right.
Then we can have a new person. So I chose Helldivers 2 for one of my top 3. I really liked Helldivers 2. I got a lot of hours in that game. A lot of it was played with you guys. A lot of it was played with one of my brother-in-laws. And man, I don't think there's been another game that I've played in the past maybe 5, maybe even 10 years where I like fell in love with it instantly, quite as fast as I did with Helldivers 2. I remember seeing Hayden try to get it on, or try to get us to get it, and I was like, I saw all this footage of it, and I was like, this doesn't seem like it'll be that fun. Everyone was hyping it up. There was like a whole bunch of reels coming out on it. They had all that music going on for like Vietnam War music and stuff. And I was like, I don't see the point of this game. Not the point, maybe that's the wrong word. The loop of it didn't seem fun to me. And then getting into it, the whole environment of it and like the music and the whole, you're just this little cog in this huge machine of democracy and shoving democracy down these aliens' faces and just trying to I don't know. I think it's an awesome game, and I think the concept of it too, of just working together, everybody that's playing the game, and you can see the Steam numbers. Anytime you get into Steam, you can see how many people are playing it. Tens of thousands of people playing it at any given time. The game has dipped down, and it dipped down a little bit over the summer and going into maybe August, September. But I think they've picked up quite a bit, and I know they had a little, maybe not a little. It was a big speed bump just this past week when they tried to add some DLC from what is that game called? Now I'm gonna forget it. It's like Killzone, yeah.
Killzone, yeah.
And it was priced pretty out of range from the other DLCs they've added. But then they give it all for free after the community kind of came out and said, "Hey, this isn't good."
Look at that.
And I think those guys there at that are making Helldivers 2, I can't remember the developer's name, but I think they're awesome, and they've been really receptive to community feedback. And been really awesome with DLC and just getting everybody engaged in the game. So, man, that game was really cool.
Yep, I agree.
And then my other game, which some of you have played a little bit of, but I was literally addicted to that game again with one of my brother-in-laws.
I know what it is.
Abiotic Factor.
Oh.
And that game did not pop up on any list that I saw anywhere from Game Awards, from any.
Oh yeah, that came out in 2024.
It came out in I think May. Any media outlet did not talk about this game at all. It kind of went under the radar in the big, like gaming news,
Game Awards
sphere. But that game took over my life from July until like September. I don't think I think I went 20 something days, and Steam showed me on my Steam replay. It was like 21 days of playing in Steam, and I bet you that was one of the games that I was playing like every night. Yeah. Because it if you haven't played it, it's a very good mix of of Half-Life 1, at least the visuals of it and the tone of the game is very Half-Life 1. You're a scientist trapped underground and you're trying to figure out what's going on with this weird, I don't know, I guess alien invasion, or maybe it doesn't really explain it very well. I think it's otherworldly and maybe alternate dimension creatures that are coming through these portals. Anyways, so it has a little bit of Half-Life 1, has a little bit of maybe you could say Grounded, Ark, Rust, just like survival type game. And then a little bit of Minecraft too. So like all those combined, plus the setting of it is just awesome. And I think the banter too. I talked about this with Helldivers. I like the banter of the scientists. The way they talk is just so funny. And the setting inside of this really huge when you get into it, and it's a little bit like Metroid as well, Metroid Prime, where as you go along and you get better with your different abilities and you start finding new abilities as you go deeper into the lab, these huge areas open up. What's cool too is that you start at this little tiny area where you can't go anywhere. It's a little lobby. And then when you kind of look around, you're like, that looks cool. I don't know if we'll ever go there. And you look over here and there's this huge like green zone area. It just looks like you'll never reach it. And then as you get through it, eventually you'll like make connections where it loops you around back to where the lobby is. And you're like, wait, that was there that whole time. That door was available to me to go to. But now it's like there and open up because I have this new ability and I've leveled up my guy and I've gone farther into the story. And man,
It's all Metroid-y.
It is very Metroid-y too. And I love that game. And I don't think it's talked about enough or at all in any gaming video I've ever seen from anybody I
People don't
watch.
talk about it like at all. I like never see anything about it.
I honestly think it is the best survival game I have ever played next to Minecraft. It's by far the best survival game I've ever played. It's really cool. I really love that game, and I think it should be on more people's lists for sure. But my top 3 and 2.
Okay.
Alrighty,
Yeah.
Preston, you're up.
Rest in.
All right. Yep. So my number 3 for this year, it's one that didn't come out this year, but it's Luigi's Mansion 3.
Ooh,
hello, Luigi.
Yeah. So me and my kids, we got into it, and it would be me playing it, and then they'd be playing Luigi, and we just had a lot of fun. We beat the game, and we went through it. I think I just checked my my Switch review, and it said there was like a peak in May of 59
That's when you got
hours.
it. Whoa!
And I think we beat
Benson?
that, and that yeah.
Benson?
Well, Benson too. Yeah. And so I think we
It's
beat
like one
it
of the
that
best
month.
looking Switch games.
It
too.
is. It really is.
It looks really good, and it runs just fine. There weren't any
Is that-
glitches or anything.
Is that Next Level Games that made that?
I can't remember. I think
I don't
so.
know.
Maybe. But yeah, we played through that game, and it's just lots of fun. We got like all the extra stuff, and we
Next
played
Level
through
Games?
it again.
Yeah.
It was Next Level.
It was, yeah. They're honestly one of the best developers Nintendo has. Is like a second party, I guess you could say, because they're not. I don't think they're owned by Nintendo. They just license out games to them to make for them. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah, so that was my number 3. And then number 2, it was Red Dead 1. I beat that game too this year.
Yeah, I was there when you beat
Did
that.
you? What did you play that on?
I played that on PC, so
PC.
it's in Steam.
And that's
just came out this
the
year, though, right?
remastered version, right?
Wait, no, sorry, I played it on Xbox. Sorry.
Oh.
So if you share with me, then that it'll be on there.
Is that the remastered version, or is that like the backwards compatible version?
Backwards compatible version of that.
Xbox never had a true remaster. I don't think it was mainly for the Switch.
Yeah,
and
as
the
I was
PlayStation.
playing on Xbox, it came out for on Steam, I think, or something.
Oh,
I think it was right around that time. But yeah, that was really fun. I beat like all the I think there were maybe like 2 more side quests that I was just like, I'm done like playing it. I've done everything. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Mhm.
That
Like it
happens to
got to
me.
the point where I was just like fast traveling to places and just like it wasn't fun anymore.
That was me with Fallout
Uh,
4.
Yeah, and that's how it was. But it was lots of fun. Like listening to all the Spanish they're saying.
Oh, yeah.
And
We go down to Mexico.
and I was going down to Mexico, and it was just lots of fun. And like but not that I like passed up on that when it came out, but like we didn't have those kinds.
We
of
didn't have
games.
it.
Yeah.
Well, I think Hayden ended up getting it, right? Didn't one of
Oh,
us
that's
get
right.
it?
Yeah, I beat it.
Yeah,
Well,
Hayden got
back on
it.
360.
Mhm.
Back when had to trick the GameStop employee. You know, I'm 18.
They're gonna come for you. You're like 14. Here's my money.
I went there yesterday and he still checked it. And all 3 of these games are M. I
Same
looked, I was
guy.
like, I bought Kingdom Hearts 3, and I was like, one of these are Kingdom Hearts 3. I can buy this. Come on. He checked the other ones. He checked my
Your ID.
my ID. Yeah.
Yeah, that reminds me.
Put the
I think
cracking
you
down.
were with me. Maybe it was you, Hayden, or Tanner. This is off subject, but same thing
Ooh.
about GameStop.
I was
but-
there.
Oh, were you there?
Mhm.
And they were like, "We're trying to buy Black Ops 2, right?"
Do we
Yeah.
leave
What?
there
There's an extra 'cause
livid?
No,
We
we
walked
wanted
out
to do
livid.
zombies. We wanted to do zombies together.
Because it was an 8-player when you had 2.
It was 4.
4?
But
Okay.
yeah, but we already had one. You had one, and we
Yeah,
wanted
I
to get
had
a
one.
third disc.
Yeah, and so we wanted to play together, and you guys were with me, and they were like, I don't know, I think he's buying it for his
Yeah.
non-18-year-old sibling. I was
Yeah,
like,
well, because Tanner put it up there. He's like, I want to buy this because he
Oh,
just
no,
like happened to go
Tanner.
to the place
Tanner
first.
probably-
Tanner's like
Yeah,
11
he was
or
like
12.
12 or something, and he puts it up there, and the guy's like, "Yeah, you can't buy this. You need a like parent or an adult or
I'm
something."
sweating. I'm
And
like,
we're
"Oh,
like, we come up and
Put
we're
the
like, "Hey,
pressure on
where's
Preston."
older brothers?"
Hey,
We're
Preston, get
old
over
enough."
here.
I'm like, "We're old enough," and he's like, "No, because I know that he's gonna play it." And we're like,
you have no control over that.
What?
and so
Yeah,
I
what?
I think I grabbed it from him, and I was like, "Actually, only I'm going to play it." And he's like, "I can't sell this to you." And I'm like,
Too
"What?"
bad. We bought
That
it.
was the downfall.
That was
of
downfall of
GameStop.
GameStop. That's when everything
was.
started
That's when
going
it started.
down.
That's when it
Yeah.
started. Yep.
Word got out. They didn't let gamers play games at a game shop.
And let gamers.
They are not powering gamers. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
empowering.
Anyways, so there was my. Let's go back to the top.
No, top 2.
Your top
3
2 or 3 and 2.
Or yeah.
and not top 2. Confusing.
Cool. Yep. So that's awesome. Got those 3 and 2. I think we want to go into a little bit of our honorable mentions throughout the year. Maybe they didn't make up the top 3, but maybe something that came out this year, maybe that you started playing this year that you hadn't played before, that you kind of been playing a little bit, that maybe might have fit into a top 10, possibly.
I can go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Lethal Company. I mean, we played that like the beginning of
Uh,
the year, and
did.
it was like it was the funniest game I've ever played, and like the hype was right. Like
That came out, I
everybody-
think, right at the end of last year, and
Oh,
then
okay.
and then
And
beginning of this year.
yeah, we played it. I think
Yeah.
we just did we play it in December or don't know.
I played it a lot in December. I played it a bunch with 2 of my brother-in-laws,
Okay.
and then we
I might have played a little bit. but
then I played
yeah,
a little bit at the beginning of this year,
Yeah. So I have it in my Steam as January.
January. Yeah, me too.
I didn't play it any
That
other
game's
time.
so freaky.
Mhm.
It's just
They've
like-
had so many updates to that
quirky.
game too. I kind of want to play it again
Okay.
because I did play it.
When you hop back in.
I played it about 2 months ago, and it changed quite a bit since then. And what's cool too is that that game is still getting a bunch of people playing it consistently. Oh yeah,
That's-
like I think I remember checking. It was over 10,000. That was for sure. In concurrent
Well,
players on
didn't
Steam.
they do a collaboration with Deep Rock Galactic or something? I thought I saw.
They
Fortnite.
might have. They might have.
Was it Fortnite? I remember hearing the music and there was like a little like a drop that came from the sky, and I thought it was like Deep Rock Galactic.
It might have been. That sounds right.
That's cool.
Yeah, but anyway, good
Let's
game.
see, and then Tarkov, honorable mention. I mean,
It's almost
It's
like
always-
it's. I mean, it's the same game, but it's also like a new thing every time there's a new wipe. I mean, the game hasn't actually released yet.
That's true.
It's still in beta.
Oh yeah.
Are they saying it's still in beta?
Yes. Until the game, I think they
on.
eventually want to get to the point where all the maps are connected to each other. Right now, they kind of are. They the last update they did a few months ago, you can go from map to map, but yeah.
And
Good old
then
Nikita.
one more honorable mention is I didn't play a ton of VR this year, but played Resident Evil 4,
Oh,
and that was pretty sweet. Hunter played that a little bit too.
I mean, scary.
Actually got that. I think you got that for my birthday, maybe. But
Resident Evil 4
yeah,
remake.
no,
For
yeah,
VR.
For
Oh
VR.
yes,
Like
yeah.
the
I
meta
did.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, that was sweet.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's it for me.
Cool.
There we go.
I don't want to go
I could do some of my honorable mentions. I feel like the year started off with, it might sound funny, but Power World was kind of popping.
I almost
Oh,
forgot about
yeah.
that game.
Yeah,
almost
it was
forgot
popping
about
off.
it.
They
Pokemon
just had a
never
huge
forget.
update, by the way.
Yeah, it did.
and,
Well, they removed the Pokeballs, didn't they? Or they had
they
to.
removed the motion
Oh, that's
of
what it is, the
you
motion.
throwing the person out, and now it just like appears.
Nintendo
So
could
there's
be
still
so
the
stupid.
Pokeballs, I
stuff.
think, but then it's just that specifically that they took out. But there's actually like a big update that just came out, and I don't know about you guys. I think me and one of our cousins, we got pretty far into that game, so it took a lot of time. And I think I think it broke like Steam record type things,
Mhm.
like for
It
beta.
did.
So it kind of, but that again, and this is like a little bit off topic, but that kind of puts a little bit of pressure on Pokemon. I feel like where, I mean, Hunter and I have been playing Pokemon, and I played Scarlet and beat it this year, but I also feel like the openness and the crafting and the different, like how it felt different, it was fun with Power World, and so I think that puts a little pressure, and that's probably why Nintendo and Game Freaks or whoever it is pursuing and pushing them on this, because it is a little bit threatening. But anyways, Power World. I had another. For sure. Oh, Indiana Jones. I feel like should get credit just because Xbox went out of their comfort zone, and I guess it wasn't fully Xbox, it was mainly machine games, and I feel like I've liked a lot of machine games.
Oh yeah.
Wolfenstein, I've eaten the 2 new ones, and I feel like, I don't know, I just trust them. And then it was just kind of cool to see it all come into fruition, where we were like watching it, we're like, oh, I don't know about this. Like, I was kind of looking at trailers and like,
Well, it was weird. Like the
could
first
be
person,
weird.
it's like kind of jarring. You're like, hey, you have like basically the model of
Yeah.
Indiana Jones.
know.
I mean, you do have him. You have the model of Harrison Ford essentially, and it's like, come on, why don't you like
Never,
if you want
like,
to show
see him.
people that, but instead you just see his hands.
Mm-hmm.
But man, who's the guy that does the voice acting for him?
He does a ton of other voice
He
acting.
does a bunch of them.
Troy Baker.
Yeah, he's
Troy
really
Baker.
good.
Troy Baker. He
He's,
does a really good job with Harrison Ford's
Yeah.
voice. Like
Mhm.
it's
I
almost
had to look it up
uncanny.
to make sure it wasn't him.
I know.
because he does a really good job.
He does a really good job.
Troy Baker's the guy.
He is.
Joel.
He does a bunch of voices.
Anyways, other than that, I think there was a few that I wanted to bring up that maybe we should have given a chance. I don't know if any of us played like the Silent Hill 2 remake. I heard a lot of people liked it.
I want to get that. at some point.
It's on my wish list.
Animal Well, I played a little bit of that, but a lot of people like that game. Balatro, I know a lot of people liked it. And
Did
then
you ever
there was
play
one
it?
more. I don't think I played Balatro, but it's on sale, and I've thought about getting it. But it's like a card game mixed with something else. People really I think it got a good amount of awards this year. Dragon's Dogma 2, I want to give it a good shot. Once it gets
It's on.
cheaper, I
The
wanna
first one's
go.
on sale all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to get it on Switch because I probably play it the most on that, but
Yeah.
it's always on sale,
Yeah.
like for like $5 or something.
The first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, Hades 2, I feel like, I don't know if that's really 2020 or 2024, but
It is.
Yeah,
It came out this
there's
year.
a lot of good,
Yeah. When did
lot
that
of good
come out?
games.
I want to say that game came out. Man, I can't remember now.
Because that like snuck in too. I feel like everyone was so excited about it,
Mm-hmm.
and then it didn't make waves as big as the first one did when it came out.
The game, so is and it's I think it's
Is it
still
pre-
I think it's
it's
still in
out
early
in-
access, and that
Oh,
came
it's early
out
access.
That's why.
in May 2024 for Windows and October for Mac OS. But so came out this year.
But still early access.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, I forgot
That's
it still
probably
says that. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of good games. I think in 2024. Last one, real quick, because I think we all loved it back in the day. But Backyard Baseball had a remake that came out
Ooh,
this
yeah.
year. It
yes.
had a re-release on Steam. We don't have it, but I think
Still on
it's definitely
sale
one of the
for
games.
$8.
Oh, well, there we go. I'll get it. There we go.
I might
Because
buy
I feel like
Yeah,
we
need
got to get it. We used to spend so much time playing that game.
know.
Yeah.
At home, so
Pablo
Anyways.
Sanchez.
Pablo Sanchez,
Pablo
baby.
Sanchez, don't mess with him.
Yep. Don't mess with him. Watch out. And the wheelchair kid. Don't mess with him either.
Yeah,
Oh,
wheelchair
what's his
kid.
name? I can't remember. Starts with an A, maybe.
He was good. He was good in
Wheelchair. Just leave it be.
Arkham Knight.
Wheelchair kid.
Wheelchair kid.
the wheelchair kid.
But yeah,
good
that's
name.
my list.
Good. I can go really quick.
'Kay.
And then we can finish you, Spencer. So Nintendo released a bunch of the Game Boy Advance like Metroid games this year,
Mhm.
and I got really into playing. So I played Zero Mission, then I played Fusion. So I played Fusion back in the day, and really liked it, and so I was like, maybe I should play it again. So I did, played through that, loved it. Really, really hard actually. There's like a couple of points where I'm like, I'm so lost. I don't know where I'm supposed to go, and I just like
Mhm.
I would go between all the sectors, and I'd come back around, and there's like this water part that just like threw me off, and I couldn't figure out where to go. Anyway, so both of those games were really fun, and then I finally beat Super Metroid for the first time. And like Spencer and I, we really liked Metroid games, and so I was
Yes.
talking to him about it. We played Zero Mission kind of around the same time,
Mhm.
and Super Metroid is just so good. And I was bamboozled by the noob like running section. I like sent Spencer a picture. I'm like, I do not want to look this up, but I'm gonna ask a friend like they had to back in the day. Like, what do I do right here? And he's like, there's a run button. I'm like, excuse me? There's a run button this whole time?
Yep.
And so you have to hold the run button and then run across these platforms that disappear if you're not running. And I probably spent a good like hour and a half just like jumping between the different like places. I'm like, where am I supposed to go? I'm pretty sure this is where I need to go, but I can't get past it. So those like 3 Metroid games would be my honorable mentions because yeah, they were a lot of fun. So
I put those in my honorable mentions as well. All 3 of those.
ooh.
Because I got hooked on those. As soon as I think I played Fusion first because maybe it did Zero Mission. I can't remember which one I played first. It was when it came out on the Super Nintendo Switch online thing, and I played it through them really quick. I was like blowing through Fusion Mission or Zero Mission, and then and I had already beat. Well, I almost beat Super Metroid. Probably about 10 years ago, I want to say, on the Wii U when it got a couple of Super Nintendo games released for it. And I got stuck fighting Ridley. And I think it's because I wasn't supposed to be there quite yet or something. I didn't have like everything upgraded that I needed to. So I ran out of missiles like super fast. And I kept getting killed over and over again. I'm like, all right, well, I'm done. I think I saw everything I needed to see in that game. But then when I went back to it this year, I beat them all. And man, those are some
They're
good
so
games.
good. The music
Oh,
is excellent.
amazing.
You can tell why they created like their own genre, like why it's called
Yeah.
Metroidvania. It's because, I mean, they were like earlier in the gaming scene, but it's like there's a reason why they defined it. It's because they do it so well.
There was nothing else like it, really, that I can think of that I played growing up. There probably is something out there. Someone's gonna be like, "Well, there was this one game back in 1994 that was released by some Japanese company," and I'm like, "Okay, cool." Popular games that released this game
There we go.
defined a genre for sure. All right, so some other games I want to go over that I kind of played this year. Age of Mythology. I don't think anybody talked about that.
Yeah,
The
Age of
remake
Mythology Retold.
retold. So we played that a little
What
bit.
a-
I actually
what a
got
good
back
game.
into the campaign for a little bit when it first came out a couple months
Yep.
ago. I just want to mention that. I think that's honestly I think probably we could say that's probably our favorite age of game, whether it be Age of
Yes.
Empires 1, 2, 3, whatever. I think that's our favorite in
Hey,
this
the DS
in the
version is up
in the
there
Soulless
too.
Gaming household.
The DS Age of Empires game.
Age of
Oh.
Empires 2.
That one was so fun.
Yeah, the
That
Age of
was
Empires
really
on the
Go to
DS
market
is really
and stuff.
fun. It's a very different type
yeah,
of
Age of
game.
Anthology is
Turn-based.
top.
Yep.
Top tier.
I think I want to give a little shout out to Star Wars Hunters. I don't think really any of us played that. Maybe
yeah, it was
Preston.
cool.
I mean,
I played
Hayden
a
might have
little
played
bit.
it. Did you play
I
it,
played a
Preston,
little.
too?
Yeah, I had it on my phone and Switch.
I played that quite a bit when it first dropped on Switch. I didn't play it on the phone at all, but on Switch it was actually really fun. I
Yeah,
liked
it's
it.
fun.
I don't even know what that is.
Kind of
It's-
like a quick little team
Actually,
deathmatch
It's
type
like
thing.
it's almost like Overwatch, but very like trimmed back. And I think you only
I
have
think it's
3 people
roles.
on your team.
Oh, no,
right?
yeah. 3 people, but there's lots of different outlaws that you could get unlocked. Yeah.
So
Oh.
I don't know. It's fun for a little bit. I played that for probably I don't know a month or something like that, just on and off.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. And then also, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 like dropped this year.
Mhm.
Really
Got to put it out there.
been
We spent a lot of time
been
there.
playing a lot of that. And then I think one other game that was almost. I would say it was this barely got into my top 10. I would say is another Crab's Treasure that came out earlier this year.
Yeah.
That
So
game
hard.
it's
Souls-like.
it's like it's a Souls like. I really did like that game. I didn't get too far into it. There's a part where they kind of send you off on like, all right, now you can kind of the world's opened up.
Yep.
You get into this like it's kind of like a big city area, like almost like a New York City type of place. And then that's
Mhm.
where they kind of like, all right, this is what the story is. You're gonna go out. I got there and I did a couple missions after that, and then I just stopped playing it. But I did think it had a really good gameplay. I really like the setting of it underwater. There's some parts that were kind of creepy because there's a part in the game. It's very early on where it kind of sets the tone of it, and you're like, because it's all like happy-go-lucky. You're just this little crab, and you got the little
crab. Yeah.
you got your little shells you can try on, and you
Yeah.
get little different abilities. I like that. I really like that about that game where every shell has like a different ability,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and you get to try it out. And you're like, all right, this one's cool. This one kind of fit for this specific enemy type. But yeah, the tone of it like changes really fast when everything kind of and the music changes really weird, and you're like, what the heck's going on? And you figure out there's like this like blight that's like happening on the underwater inhabitants. But yeah, I did really like the game, but didn't quite hit higher up in my list. But I just want to talk about it a little bit. Other than that, is that everybody? I think we got everybody's honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Well, let's start with our number ones for each of us. Let's go with. I want to start with Hayden first, and then maybe we can just go around from there and talk what our number one game was of the year.
All right. My number one game is Concord.
Concord.
Oh, stop.
Yeah.
Wow,
let's go.
Concord! What a
Stop
great
that.
game.
Why are you laughing?
You
I
did-
really like what they
you
did.
didn't even
Just
play
kidding.
that game.
I did try that game.
Oh, you
on
did?
Beta. It was, yeah, definitely not game of the year, but you know what? They
It
tried
was a
something.
game.
It didn't work. It was a game.
It was a game.
My number one was actually Helldivers 2, but we've already talked about it, and so I kind of wanted to just be like, I agree with everything Spencer said. I love the unique kind of style of it where I think now, and we did talk a little bit about this before we did this, but a lot of the big game studios are really comfortable with kind of their big name brand games. So the Call of Duties, the Assassin's Creeds,
Mhm.
and they're really
Mhm.
comfortable not doing too many new things, that it's really refreshing to see a company or a studio be willing to try something new, and to see it work is really, really nice. So I really like that. And then just to give a little side shout out, even though it came out towards the end of 2023, is the Phantom Liberty DLC for Cyberpunk, just because I loved Cyberpunk, and I thought that DLC was huge, and as we know from the Game Awards this year, I guess DLCs can
Can
win
be.
the Game
count.
Awards.
I know.
Yeah. Elden Ring, Erdtree, whatever.
Yeah, Shadow of the Erdtree.
Yep. So that's my number one.
Sweet.
Whatever's two.
I can go next.
Okay.
My number one game of the year, some might know this, is Stalker 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Heart of Chernobyl. I love that Eastern European like commie block aesthetic where everything just looks like it's just frozen in time in like the 70s, 80s, 90s and in the Soviet Union.
Metro vibes.
Yeah, Metro vibes, Tarkov vibes. I honestly think this is one of the best games I've played in many years. It kind of gets to my love of the Elder Scrolls games with all the different
The branching paths. and
branching
stuff
paths,
Like that.
but it rewards you very much for exploring. And I really love that about Morrowind. I really love that about Oblivion. And Skyrim, yes, it does it. But I think more so, it does give me more Morrowind vibes in that sense. And that game, I honestly can't stop playing it. It's as soon as I started, maybe not as soon as I started playing it, but I would say within the first day or two of playing that game and putting in some good hours in that game, I was like, all right, this is for sure my game of the year. It did have a little bit of hiccups there with the performance, not on my machine too much. Weirdly enough, even though mine isn't that strong, I saw a lot of people having problems with that game. But my PC has never had any issues with it. I've been able to get some really consistent frame rates of it that are above 60. And man, that game, I had played, just a little backstory, I had played the other Stalker games a little bit. I have Clear Sky. I've played a little bit of the first one. But I didn't understand a lot of the weirdness of the anomalies and how that all worked out, and just the economy of those games. It didn't really make a lot of sense to me. After putting in a lot of time into this game, I understand a lot of it, and I went back to play a little bit of Clear Sky, which is the second game in the series. And I really like those games. I mean, props to the developers of Stalker 2, who are literally in a war zone in
Yeah.
Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the
It's
guys,
a miracle that game even
a
even
miracle that
released.
game
Like,
released.
It really is.
It's
Like,
been
I
in
think
development for
their-
years.
I think their studio at one point like got bombed.
Yeah.
And they had
They
to
had-
like reset. They had to go back basically like several months to when they had backed up everything.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy that the game is even out and as good as it is.
Yeah, I haven't. There's been one time where that game's like crashed on me. One time, and I can't say that about really any other like AAA game over the past few years where I within a few hours of playing I get a crash. At least on PC, I get a crash. I get an error. I get something weird happening. That
Mhm.
game, for whatever reason, for me
Smooth.
at least, no problems. There's weird janky stuff that happens in that game, but nothing like game breaking that I've seen yet. So cool story, really like it so far. Love all the gun mechanics in that game. Those guys know guns, and so everything feels realistic.
Mhm.
And graphics are amazing. And I can't say anything. There's not enough things I could say about that game to make it what I feel it deserves. And I mean, love that game. Definitely
I've
my
probably
number one game.
Just really quick, I've probably put like 10, not as much time as you, maybe like 10 hours into it. And there's one quest pretty early on where you like climb up a windmill,
Mhm.
and as you're going up, there's like basically little traps for you to set off.
Oh, yeah.
And there's like bombs and there's things to like make noise. 'Cause there's a
Tripwires.
guy at the top. Yeah, there's tripwires. There's a guy at the top that like is listening for people that are like hunting for him.
Uh-huh.
And Spencer and I were talking about it, and we kind of progressed similarly with that quest. But then Spencer's brother-in-law basically just like went up and like killed them and then moved on, and like didn't even like think twice about it.
Yeah, he went
And I
the
was
route
like-
of just killing anybody that just looked at him weird. He's
that
like, "All right,
breathed,
you're dead."
Yeah. But I loved how interactive it was. Like even going up, I was thinking, I'm like, I bet this guy has some traps.
Yeah.
And so I was like slowly going up, and then you can see the tripwire as you're like going up, and I just thought it was really creative and like there's a lot of AAA studios out there that probably would have just like waited for you to get to the very top, and then the guy would have stopped you, like kind of like a Bethesda, almost like a Fallout type
Yeah.
thing. They would have like stopped you, been like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" I'm trying to hide, but it was really thoughtful, and I don't know. I just that little attention to detail was really cool for me. And just as I was going up, I was like looking for different things because it wasn't the same tripwire. It was like there were some bells and things in the way. I don't know. It was really cool.
Yeah, really cool
Freaky game too.
Really freaky. A lot of just kind of you jump out of your seat moments because of how scary it can be, and very very creepy environments that really just set the tone when you're like deep in a like a laboratory or some like facility that's been decades of dilapidated radiation, and no one's been in it in a while. So yeah, really cool game. Preston?
Yeah.
Hunter?
Yeah, so my number one game, like Hayden, was Helldivers 2. Yeah. I mean, we've already said so much about it, but whenever I see anything on Instagram about it, I'm like, I gotta play the game right now. Like, get me on that game. It's so cinematic, so like
Very
just
cinematic.
fun. And like even when you play against, the automatons, which it's like impossible sometimes. We put it on like the highest difficulty.
Terminator.
And like and everything's just like blowing up. It's just it's the funnest thing. It's just Anyways, that was mine.
Good choice.
The first time I dropped in that game, it like reminded me of Apex. Like the very first time we all played Apex and hopped on. Just like the music. Yeah, the music is sweet. You're like coming in. It was very similar vibes. Like Spencer said, there's not a game that reminded him of just like, I don't know, the feeling that he got. And like Apex was the last time that I felt it as the same as
now that you mentioned that, it is very much of what I felt like first playing Apex. Kind of like I don't think I've played a game quite like this. Like I mean, Apex at the time there was like the whole genre of battle royales, but the take they had on it was quite different. But yeah, I agree.
A lot of fun. My number one game, the DLC for it came out at the end of 2023, so I'm gonna count it. But I bought it maybe like April. Resident Evil 4 Remake is my number one game.
Yeah, let him know how many times you beat it.
Let him know.
A lot. So it's one of the few games that I've like through like the Xbox achievement system that I guess like the PlayStation, you like platinum trophy it or whatever. You don't really get the same thing for Xbox, but I basically did 100%. That. And so yeah, to 100% it, you have to beat the game like 6 or 7 times at least, and that's if you like have really good runs. Like some you have to do like no damage runs to get the achievement.
Holy
and then
cow!
I did
you
the
did
DLC
a you did a no
for it.
Damage run.
I did no healing, and I made it no damage up until like the last little bit. Yeah. And so you play it, and like a lot of them you have to play on the professional mode where you only get and one of them you have to do it on professional with only 15 saves. And so you have to like map out your saves that you're going to do. And
holy cow.
And you have to beat it in under like 4 hours or something like that. So I probably have that game memorized by now, and all like the different speedrun things that you can do. Like you can, if you throw a golden chicken egg at what's his name?
The Chainsaw Man.
Sadler. Not Sadler. Ramon. What's his name? The little guy that's in the castle.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
If you throw a golden chicken egg at him, it does like 80% of his health.
What?
And so you throw the golden chicken egg, and you can do this on RE4 too. But if you throw the golden chicken egg at him, it does like 80%, and then you take out your magnum and shoot him like 4 or 5 times, and he dies it like almost instantly.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. And so like you learn how to do stuff like that, and it was a ton of fun though. So I did that for the base game, and I got the DLC as well. So I 100%ed the DLC as well. And on that one you play as like Ada Wong, and you have to like it shows what she's doing while Leon is doing like his stuff. It's a lot shorter. It's maybe like 4 or 5 hours. If you are just like playing casually, where the normal game might be like 10 to 15 your first playthrough. So it's not as long, but it is a lot of fun still to kind of see behind the scenes and what she was doing to kind of help Leon along. But yeah, that game is a ton of fun. I can't recommend enough, especially if you like action or horror games. It did the original a ton of justice. So
Yeah, I played
Which one's-
Resident Evil 2 remake. Kind of probably around the time you
Also
were
great.
playing Resident Evil 4 this year. And
Hayden
that game
still hasn't beaten it.
that game's awesome. I really like that game. I never
Yeah,
played
and that
I never
one-
played the original one because we never had a PlayStation growing up.
Mm-mm.
But I know it did. I think it did come out for the Nintendo 64.
It did, and it was the biggest N64 game.
Yeah, but we never were like allowed to play those games growing up. I think the closest we got was Jet Force Gemini.
Yeah, Jet Force Gemini.
And
That barely squeaked by mom and dad.
I know. Who was
I
it?
got it.
And
Tanner?
Hayden got it.
Hayden or
when he
Tanner
was,
that got
like,
it?
I got it
done
for
being
getting-
potty trained or
For
something.
me. Yeah.
Took me. I think they
job.
bought it at like a Blockbuster. Like
It's
they
so
bought
weird.
It there.
It was
I
like the
got
most
that
random
game.
thing. Dad's like,
I remember he like
Good
just
job,
threw it to
Hayden.
him. He was like sitting on like the beanbag in the playroom. He's like, "Here you go." I'm like,
Mhm.
just dropping a rated T game for a like at the time you were probably like 5 years old, 4 years old.
Mhm.
it's like, here you go.
Okay.
It's a great
Yeah,
gift.
thanks, Dad.
Back in the old days, Dad would
But
give
yeah.
us games and be like, now he's like, why are you playing games?
Yeah, he started it.
Because of you.
It's because of you.
I will say for Resident Evil 4 remake, if you get the DLC for it, you also get the like old music where you can like
Oh.
interchange it.
That's cool.
And yeah, and they made some of the music is like still really creepy and it like fits the mood really well. But there was a part where I changed the music back to the original Resident Evil 4, and I had already played through maybe like 3 or 4 times at this point, and I played it back with like the original music, and it was terrifying. Like
The original one was
the
more
original
scary.
music, it was way more scary. Just like that music, like the atmosphere in general is probably a little more scary in the remake, but the like especially the DLC, there's a part where it's probably like one of the scariest moments in Resident Evil like that I've ever played. But
More scary than anything in Resident Evil Village, or not Village. What's the other one?
7.
7.
Well, maybe like the 20 seconds, because there's a part where like you play as Ada and
Oh.
all of like the lights and everything goes out.
No, you told
And
me
that
about that.
includes-
No,
yeah.
no.
And it includes like
No.
all of because you're like walking around the like freezer place where all the regenerators are.
Oh.
And so you're used to hearing like the whirring of like the AC and like the
Mhm.
freezers and stuff, and the lights are all clinking
goes
and
quiet.
clinking, and then it goes quiet.
Oh.
And there's no music that plays. All you hear is like Ada's, and it's like pitch black. And I don't even know if you have like a good flashlight, and so you just hear like Ada's heels. It was so scary, that like minute or so of gameplay. Resident Evil 7 in general is definitely scarier, but that like minute or so, and there's a crazy like Iron Maiden, the upgraded regenerators that like spawns as you're leaving that little area. So you think everything's safe, and then that thing pops up and the music goes crazy. So very, very suspenseful. But it was cool how they added in like the original music if you wanted to play with
That's
that.
cool.
And I played that for a few parts of the game.
Nice. Well, that is our number 1 games of 2024. We are very, as you could tell, we are very PC, Xbox, Nintendo oriented, but Hayden does have a little Sony in him. So, yeah, I hope we covered a little bit there with the games that we played, and I think we had a good spread. Now we've gone over kind of our games of the year. We kind of want to go into 2025 and what we're looking forward to, games, possibly, most likely, new system
New consoles.
with the Switch 2. Hopefully, please, Nintendo.
Come on.
I know you have it. I know you're just waiting for like the right time because you don't want to eat into the Nintendo's lifespan and it almost
Yeah,
reaching.
they beat the PS2, so
Yeah. Oh, they actually did.
yeah, they just surpassed it.
Wow.
Unless
Big deal.
PS2 moves the mark again,
I know.
which they like to do. Like, oh, we found our records in the back.
Somewhere
We
in
actually sold
Brazil, we sold an
another
extra.
4 million.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, what? But yeah, I think we want to just go over a couple things that we are looking forward to. Maybe just 3 things that we are interested in, looking forward to, hoping for in 2025, and then we can end it from there. I think I just want to start off with a couple things that I'm looking forward to, and I think we're going to stay with a little bit of a like segregation here of themes so that we don't overlap each other. I'm going to go a little bit into stuff I'm interested in Xbox. I think Hayden's going to go into some Sony stuff, Hunter probably into some Nintendo things, and Preston some PC stuff, maybe some VR things he's looking into or looking forward to. So some of the things I'm looking forward to next year in the Xbox space, Microsoft space, which is interesting because I feel like they're kind of blending their PC and Xbox life, especially with Game Pass. So some of the things I wrote down here, I looked up a little bit because Xbox has been really weird this year, been very confusing in their marketing. With what they got out of Activision, now that they have Call of Duty and everything, they've got everything with Blizzard.
Crash, Bandicoot,
Yeah,
they got all kinds of stuff.
Everything's kind of confusing. So
Bejeweled.
Bejeweled. I had to kind of look it up and be like, what do they have coming out this next year? And they do have a lot of things coming out. But some of the things I'm really looking forward to is Gears of War E-Day. That video that they put up of them I can't even remember his name, like the main guy in Gears. It's like the dad, Marcus. Yeah. Him fighting one of those alien dudes, like in like an apartment and then you like see everything else in the background, just like everything going crazy. So that's the Emergence Day, like when everything comes out of the ground, and all those aliens start like bursting out from everywhere across the world. I'm really looking forward to that game. Hayden and I have been playing. Have been playing. I know he wants to keep playing Gears.
We beat 4 and 5.
We did beat 4 and 5 together. I do like the Gears games. They can get repetitive towards the end of them, just because it's just the same old loop. I mean, you can almost just call when there's going to be like a flood of aliens coming out from somewhere. Like, oh wait, this looks like a room where I'm going to be sitting in for a while, and I'm going to set up here. Got to get a turret over there. Got to get this guy set up over here. So I hope they kind of break out of that a little bit. I never really played a lot of the first, second, and third one. The most one I did play was the second one. I liked it. It was all right. But I do really like the world of Gears. I really like the music and the tone of Gears. I like the gameplay, like the gunplay of Gears. Just some of the story beats can be a little repetitive over time. So I hope they can get that right. I think Microsoft's trying to get a lot of their player base back from the 360 days where they were just like rolling with every release, it feels like. So really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to Perfect Dark. They showed that trailer this year of, they said it was gameplay, and from what I could see from Digital Foundry and some of the other outlets out there, it was gameplay. It was just maybe like a very small vertical slice of what that game will be. But it felt a little bit kind of like Splinter Cell a little bit. And I really hope Splinter Cell comes back at some point. I hope Ubisoft gets their crap together.
Well,
I know.
Instead of just putting him in Rainbow Six Siege.
that's a tall order. Yeah.
I know. Oh my gosh. It's driving me nuts. Like, I can't. Yeah, that's another topic for another day. But it didn't feel like a little bit like that. It felt a little bit of Deus Ex. I love Deus Ex. I love the first one. I really do like Human Revolution. I hope it does a little bit of that, and I I like the world of Perfect Dark. I have played the first one a little bit from the Nintendo 64 days, and I did play a lot of the one that released on 360, Perfect Dark Zero, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the first games I ever played for the 360.
Rare, right?
Yeah, so
Rare.
Rare
Yeah,
did all of
one.
them, and I actually don't know. Let me see.
I don't
Oh,
think they're
Crystal.
doing
So the one who's doing this one is Crystal Dynamics.
Uh,
Oh,
that's why it
which
looks pretty.
yeah, and then the Coalition.
Oh,
So Gears of
hello,
War.
Forza.
Oh, Gears. Yeah.
Don't they, I thought they do Forza stuff, right? Coalition.
Oh, Playground
No,
games.
Playground Games
Playground.
did.
That's right. That's
The
right.
Coalition
Coalition
is
is-
Gears stuff.
Well,
So
Gears and like Crystal Dynamics have done like Final Fantasy.
I believe they did the
Captain
Deus
Marvels.
Ex stuff. I think.
Oh, did they do that?
Yeah.
That's
So that's probably
Why?
why. That makes sense. So it's being developed by the initiative, but in collaboration with those two other development teams. So really looking forward to those games. I can't think of really anything else. There's some other stuff in there. Like I know Avowed's gonna be coming out. I'm excited about that. And,
Yeah.
and hopefully, Fable, and
I was
hopefully
gonna
that
say,
turns
isn't
out.
Fable coming out?
But man, I feel like that game just. I saw the trailer for it, no gameplay of it yet, but in-engine footage from Playground Games, which I've liked all Playground Games. I really like Forza 4. I like Forza 5, or
I'm surprised
Horizon.
you're missing out on Doom right now. I thought you were a Doom guy.
Is that coming out 2025? Is
Yeah.
that really?
Oh.
Okay. Well, that is my
Starfield.
most
That's
that
part-
is my most anticipated
jumped
game.
up.
Then that just jumped
mean,
up the list.
Yeah. Come on.
I didn't even. I looked up all the games coming 2025, and I didn't even see that on the list. So if that is coming out 2025, and that's slated for then Doom is one of my most played franchises. Doom 64 was like my game of the year, like a few years ago when that like dropped out of
When it
nowhere
came out on
on Switch, I think.
Twitch, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I played that to death. I've played all the new Doom games. I loved every single one of them. Doom Eternal. I couldn't stop playing that game when it came out. So yeah, if that's coming out this year, that's for sure number one. I would say maybe Gears E-Day number 2, and then if Perfect Dark comes out this year, which I haven't heard much about it, but that'll probably be number 3. Just I like that type of gameplay.
Mm-hmm. I like it. I think this, even though I know I should just be saying like Hunter go next, but I have a reason for saying Hunter go next because I'm knowing you'll probably talk a lot about Switch games, but also it's not going to come out on Switch, but I know you're excited about it. But Monster Hunter,
Yes.
the new one, and so maybe a little transition. You could talk a little bit about that, and then some
Yeah.
Switch games.
Okay, yeah. So the big game that I'm looking forward to is Monster Hunter Wilds. I didn't get to play the beta, unfortunately. Just had a lot of stuff going on at the time, but I played the heck out of Monster Hunter Wilds and Iceborne. I think probably Apex is probably the most played game on my Xbox, but then after that is probably Monster Hunter World. So really looking forward to that. It looks super clean. I've been watching all the Capcom releases and updates that they've been doing recently. Hayden was an Insect Glaive main when I got him to play it when we first bought Monster Hunter World, and they are doing a lot of updates to that to kind of bring it back, because during the beta it was like a lot of people didn't like it. You used to be able to fly around on Monster Hunter World. Basically you could like push off the ground and fly around and come down on the monster's head and stuff like that, do some really cool aerial maneuvers and stuff. And basically everyone was like, bring it back, because they stopped it in the beta for whatever reason. And just recently, over the past maybe couple weeks, they've done some new test footage where it shows that they added those moves back in. And so Capcom, they really want that game to be as successful, if not way more than Monster Hunter World was. And I think doing the type of launch that they're going to do, which is going to be like just worldwide launch on everything, is really going to help with that. Where before, like, they are going to have some exclusive stuff with Sony, Like I
Yeah.
think maybe some quests, which is what they did with World, but they had console
It's not gonna be like
exclusivity.
a
Yeah.
6-month early release or something.
No, they did that for World where it was like maybe 2 years or at least a year where it was only on Xbox One and PS4 and then it came out on Steam, but everything was like delayed. And they kind of did that a
I hate when
little bit, I
people do
think,
that.
with they did it with Rise as well, where it was like a Switch exclusive for maybe 6 months or a
Yeah.
year. Then it came out on PC and everywhere else. But yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds is looking real nice.
Well, I think just
Graphics look good,
Capcom in general
performance.
has been on a roll. I would say for the past
Yeah.
I think ever since Resident Evil.
2 remake when they
No.
The
I would
one
say
before
I would
Village.
say
Oh,
7. Ever since 7 came out,
Sure.
The one
I feel like
before
they've been on a
Village.
roll.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And it's just been nonstop since then.
Yeah.
So
they've been doing good.
I
Yeah,
don't
they've
think
been doing really
they've had
good.
like one game that I can think of. I know some people didn't like Dragon's Dogma 2 as much as the first one, but I feel like every game
there was some
they've
performance.
yeah,
stuff
just
that
performance stuff.
didn't
But I think every game they've come out with since then has been awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been really good. So that's my number one game. That comes out like end of February. I think it's like February 20 something. I don't know if I'm gonna get it on Xbox or PC. That's my dilemma, is where to buy it. But I got
PC.
World on both PC and Xbox, so I'll probably do PC. I'll get Spencer to play with me. So
I'll
that
get it now.
do it, and then after that is I've probably got two big ones. I know there's probably others that I'm missing, but Pokemon Legends ZA should come out sometime next year. It's been over a year since Nintendo said anything about it, which is a good sign. in my
Really?
mind.
It's been
been
over
over
a
a
year.
Over 365 days since they said anything about it.
I'm
Which
like
is-
looking at a few top lists right now, and none of them have said like Pokemon. So
Yeah, that one,
tough.
because I really liked Arceus.
Well, this is the first year that they haven't released a Pokemon game in forever.
Yeah, they have a really strict schedule, and it's funny because the last time they missed one was when Pokemon Z was supposed to come out, and so it's funny that now it's going to happen again, where
For
ZA
ZA.
and like they're counting like DLCs now, where they did like the DLC for Scarlet and Violet, which came out last year,
Yeah.
and that was like their game because it basically is like it's pretty big, the DLCs that they come out with on those. Like Sword and Shields was big, same with Scarlet and Violet. But Legends Arceus was a lot of fun. Probably had one of the best stories, and especially like end game type stuff had one of the best like end game stories and kind of reveals. So I played a lot of that, of Legends Arceus, and so looking forward to ZA to kind of see what they do with that game. And they're going to bring back like Mega Evolutions. I'm a big Pokemon guy. So it'll be fun to kind of see what they do there and what they do in terms of, which brings me to my next point, with the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2, to see what they do with that game. If it becomes like, because when Pokemon Sun and Moon came out and Ultra Sun and Moon, the Switch was already out. Like they already had the Switch when I think Ultra Sun and Moon came out.
Yeah.
But instead of launching it, which there was rumors, I remember when it came out, there was rumors that it was going to be a Switch like exclusive for Ultra Sun and Moon, but they ended up launching it on 3DS again. So it'll be interesting to see what they do there, if they make it an exclusive to the Switch 2 or if they do some type of upgrade type thing, because I've been following all the rumors for the Switch 2, and it seems like they should have some type of like boost mode for Switch
Older
games,
games?
or they're gonna for older games, but it sounds like they might do some type of like, I've heard rumors of maybe it'll only be like some games and not everything, which doesn't make sense. And you'd think that with the new technology, with like Nvidia being who they are, they have all the DLSS and they got all that kind of stuff. It'd be pretty easy to just be like, yep, we're gonna upscale everything, bump up their frame rate. Instead of making Nintendo do all the heavy lifting, they can just be like, yep, this new chip can do all of that for you.
I'm hoping
for all
that's
your-
what all this time has gone into. Like,
Me too.
The development of it, like get everything right. Like they just have to,
Mm-hmm.
and not stumble out of the gate like they did with the Wii U after the Wii, after how big of a success that was. they need to have a. I feel like every time they have a system that does well, the next one's just kind of like, all right, well, that didn't work out.
Good luck. I think the plus of the Switch 2, and I think how it's going to be in a better situation, is they learned a ton from the Switch, and the Switch has had a way better games lineup than the
Yes.
Wii ever did in a million years. Like, we had it like pretty much from launch, and we played Super Smash Brothers Brawl the most. Like,
Yeah, exclusive wise, I'm like
we didn't really get any
Right.
other games.
that and Just Dance.
Yeah.
And we
Like,
There are
that was
some
basically it.
there are some good games out for the Wii. Come on, put some respect on the Wii.
obviously it was great, but I'm just saying exclusive wise, I would say Switch
Exclusive
probably
wise,
would
yeah.
have
The Switch had the like crazy lineup. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that they've been able to keep the Switch alive a lot longer because of the games, and people are invested in it, and they are anxious for a Switch 2. So, like we could have like a whole discussion about the Switch 2, but there's a lot hanging on that, and I will buy that day one.
Hey, we
It'll be
can.
exciting.
I'd love to do a like speculation of when they finally release like a video of it, like kind of like they did with the Switch, where we can go over some hopes and dreams we have for that system because I've got a lot.
Was that an Undertale reference right there? Hopes and
Well, it
dreams?
can be if it wanted to be.
It will be. So, and then I'll just put in Metroid Prime 4 in there. Got to slide that in there because chances are that'll. I mean, it could come out for the Switch, but it'll most likely be a Switch 2 thing as well.
I can see it being a
Day one exclusive,
crossover. I can see it being like a
It'll be the
crossover
breath
thing.
of the. It'll be the Breath of the Wild for the Switch.
Oh
2.
yeah, I think so.
So, really excited for that game. But those are my big things to look forward to. Probably
Nice.
took too much time, but there's a lot to cover.
Preston?
Yeah. Yeah, so the VR stuff, I'll just go over VR. And we kind of talked about it before we met, before we started recording. But Batman Arkham Beyond, I'll need to get a Quest 3 for that. Not 4, it's not out yet. Because, Quest 2, I have a Quest 2, and it's only out for Quest.
Is it not on
And-
PSVR?
It's not on PSVR or on PC VR either.
Wow.
Really?
So, yeah, it's a meta-only thing. They do this a lot.
Meta's
Like
got
Resident
money.
Evil, yeah, and like Resident Evil 4, they did that. That's like
A Meta
They-
2 exclusive.
well, it's just a meta exclusive. So you have any from
Any
2
better
on.
than-
Yeah. So yeah, just mention that one. That looks really cool. I just saw this. I didn't even know about it. I haven't really been in the VR space that much, but gunman contracts standalone. So
Oh yeah, I think I remember
so
seeing that.
so Half-Life has a bunch of mods. Half-Life Alyx. I beat that game, and there are a bunch of mods for it. And Gunman Contracts was a mod that I played, and it was really sweet. Like it was like Hitman VR, and you just like go into this room, find this person, kill them, leave, and like it was like
I'm
you
looking it
kill
up.
them, and you'd be
Yeah.
like punching people, getting out of there. Like people would like activate, and like people would come after you, like guards and stuff, and so you'd have to like kill every one of them to get out of there. And it's with
Yeah,
like
so it's like Hitman, kind of.
yeah, but with like Half-Life Alyx
Yeah. Gunplay.
gun stuff. Yeah, which I don't know how it's gonna be now, but I bet they'll probably keep that kind of play and try to put that into, or maybe they'll use the same engine. I don't know, but that's exciting. And then Thrill of the Fight 2 just came out, and that's just multiplayer right now. I bought it for Hayden.
Yeah, I gotta download that.
And I bought it for another friend of ours. And so the multiplayer just came out. It's made by the same people that did, what's their names? But the same people that did Half-Brick. Half-Brick's their name. They did a bunch of mobile games back
Oh,
in the
yeah.
day.
Yeah,
Like,
Half Brick Studios.
yeah, they did.
Oh, that was the gunman guy. You like press it to have him go up,
Joyride?
right? Yeah, Joyride, Jetpack Joyride.
Yeah, Jetpack Joyride. They did. What's it called? The Fruit Ninja.
Oh yeah, they did
They
Fruit
did,
Ninja VR.
Oh.
no, just Fruit Ninja.
Oh, they
Like they,
did in general. They did Fruit Ninja.
yeah,
OG Fruit Ninja people.
yeah. So they've done a lot of games, and they took on Thrill of the Fight 2, and it took forever for them to get it, but now it's up, but there's like a ton of bugs, and like it's not really balanced as balanced as Thrill of the Fight 1 was, which was really fun. I mean, it's like, how do you balance a game that like it's supposed to be real,
Yeah, like real boxing.
like
Like a
yeah, as
workout.
like as you can. So it's a real workout, and like Thrill of the Fight 1 is something like if I can't go to the gym, like I'll play that because it's like I'm
Yeah,
sweating
freaking gym.
and like who cares about the
I got Thrill of the Fight.
yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for single player should come out for the Thrill of the Fight 2 in 2025 sometime. But yeah, I'm excited to try out the multiplayer with Hayden and you know, punch him out because I have some practice. You
Ah.
know, so.
Nope.
Wow.
But yeah, trying to keep it going here. So yeah, Thrill of the Fight 2, and then I just saw this on Instagram. I don't know when this game came out. I think it came out this year. But called Spatial Ops. And
Facial ops.
Spatial, because it's a mixed reality game, and it's like I don't know how it works, but like you can do like capture the flag in your house.
What?
Like, it like yeah, you'll be like shooting over counters, and like you can put up like shields in places, and it'll stay there,
Oh.
and like so it looks really cool. It's like $15 right now on sale, and it is for. I thought it was only for
Let's
Quest
say-
3,
Yeah.
but it says it's Quest 2 in this store, so I don't know. Because with mixed reality pass through for Quest 2, it's all in black and white, so I don't know how they do that.
Yeah, I see it. MetaQuest 2, MetaQuest Pro, MetaQuest 3, and MetaQuest 3S.
Yeah, the 3S, which, yeah, so I'll have to look at getting maybe a 3, because, I mean, most of the time I'm doing PC VR, because that just makes sense to me. It's always charging the headset, and, like, I can run it off my 1080 Ti, and everything's good. And, yeah, I can get some good frames and stuff, but anyways.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's the VR stuff. Don't want to waste too much time.
All right. I can try to put a few out there. I was going through my old list that we had before we were kind of trying to get into little categories. I can't remember. Did you bring up Outer Worlds 2, Spencer?
No, I did not.
I know that you played
Is
that
that coming out? They're supposed to be coming out next year as well?
Yep. 2025 is supposed to be a really
Kinda
good
stacked.
year. And so I'm going to give a few just quick little rundowns, and then I'll try to go into detail what I'm most excited about. But, like, I played a lot of the Mafia games, so the new Mafia, the Old Country, it's supposed to be kind of like a backstory where you go more over to,
I forgot that's
think, like
coming out.
Italy or
Italy?
something like that. Yeah. So it's going to be pretty cool how you can kind of see where, like, the old school gangs and how they formed. Seems really interesting. Another good, like, studio that I can see is, like, trying to do new things, I guess. Subnautica 2 is coming out. Supposed to be huge. Obviously, a lot of people are excited about the Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. A remake, I think, is what it is. We didn't really play them too much growing up, but I know a lot of people are excited about it. New Civilization game. We all love the Civilization games.
Yes.
I think, is it 7 now?
It'll
Probably.
be 7, yeah. Because I played the crap out of 6 this year. That was one of the games I put in some of the most hours in.
Yeah, I think 6 did really good with, like, getting around too, because, like, a ton of people own it on Switch.
It's the most
Like, I
popular
do as well.
Civ game so far was 6, like by a long shot. It brought in so many people. Yeah, I can't remember where I saw the amount of people or the numbers of units sold for that game, but it's like tens of thousands. Like I can't remember how many more than Civilization 5, which Civilization 5 did really well too. But
I think that
every
5 really springboarded them.
yeah, every single one has been way more, but 6 by far. Even I think on console it did really well.
And I think on Steam Deck it did super good. I think I remember seeing like the top Steam Deck games because they like got separate as like a separate category. And I think Civ 6 was near the top, and it came out like last year, 2 years ago or something, and
Civ
it's
6
still
or the Steam Deck?
Wow. Oh,
for
for
the
the
when
Steam
it
Deck?
became. I guess it came out a while ago, but
Yeah,
it's
Civ
still
6
like the
is pretty
top.
old now.
Yeah, it's still the top, one of the top played Steam Deck games.
Yeah, right now, currently, it says there's 46,000 concurrent on Steam, and that doesn't account. And I
Civ
know a lot of
6?
people. Civ 6, 46,000 concurrent. It has an all-time peak of 162,000, and I know that doesn't account again for console players.
Switch,
And they, yeah,
console,
a lot of people play it on there.
Yeah.
Throwing the last one out, or last two out that I feel like I just ran, or probably three, but Little Nightmares 3 has a huge
Oh
following.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
first one is super spooky.
I
I've only
never
really
played
that
those
one.
games. Those
I
are some
wanna
games I need to
pick 'em up.
play.
1 and
Yeah.
2 are on sale.
Everyone says those games
on
are
the
so
Switch
scary.
right now.
And I'm like, really? How are they scary? But everyone says they're really
They're
scary.
freaky looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost got 2 when it first came out, and then right now 1 and 2 are on sale for like $10 or $15.
Yeah,
on
you can get them in
Steam,
the package
like together
too.
or on
Mhm.
Switch. Yeah,
Yeah.
together.
It must be doing good because I think the second one came out like
No,
2 years
I
ago.
did
There's a
hear-
big gap between the first and
I
second
did hear
one.
that this third one is a different developer. It's not the same developer that did the first two. But the developer that did do those first two is making another game that is almost just like those games,
Oh,
which is interesting.
it's another Harvest Moon.
It is kind of, yeah.
issue.
I'm not sure, but I guess they also like gave like their blessing towards this new development team that's making the third one. They're like, yeah, they're doing a good job, type of thing. So
That's good.
there's no like, I don't think it's anything like bad, like no bad blood or anything like that with this one, but it's not the same developer.
I don't even know that. Other than that, Borderlands 4. We kind of. I feel like we all
We played all of them together
One of them,
in
yeah.
one way or another.
Yeah, I beat the fourth one with a group of cousins.
Yeah, third one?
Oh, third one. Sorry,
You mean
yeah, third
Tiny
one.
Tina's? Oh.
Tiny Tina. I played a little bit of Spencer.
Yeah,
the
I
old
played
not
the third
new
one all by myself. No one wanted to play with me.
You were late
I
to
beat
the
it.
party.
I beat it though. It was fun. Everyone said the third one wasn't great, but I don't know. I liked it.
I think either way, you can have fun playing those games.
Yeah,
It's
you make your own fun in those games.
Mm-hmm. And then lastly, just the randoms that aren't really Sony. I would say obviously GTA 6 is gonna be huge, no matter what. Like, I think Rockstar is just like
They're
on
a
pedestal
perfectionist.
of their own. Yeah, they're just
They
like
are.
they're gonna, with how long they push this aside in the gap from.
Yeah, what
I
is
think
it?
I watched
2012?
the video
2013
Yeah,
when
with you guys.
GTA 5 came out.
when
Yeah.
that came out, and then 2017 or 2018 when Red Dead. So they went from releasing not only one game but sometimes 2 or even 3 games per year back in like the 2000s
Yeah.
to these long
Mhm.
gaps is because they want to make it perfect, which if you got the money then do it, but a lot of studios can't do that, and I think that's like another problem. But
When you got
GTA
GTA
Online.
Online making bank for you, yeah, you can do whatever you want.
nonstop, yeah. So it'll be good. It's just one of those things where it might not be for everybody, but it'll do good no matter what, kind of.
Yeah.
And then I guess Sony wise, I loved Ghost of Tsushima, and then there's the Ghost of Yotei, I think is what it's called.
Yotai, I think. Yeah.
Yotai, it's coming out. You're the girl who was in Ghost of Tsushima that you kind of save and help, and so that'll be really cool. I know it's on PC now too, so if
I'm
you
hoping
guys
it's a
get
day
it
and
on
date
PC.
with the PlayStation 5 version. Like, if Steam and the PS5 drop at the same time. I don't know if they've said
Instead
that or
of
not.
Ghost of Tsushima releasing on PC, like 2 or 3 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they've been sticking to about a year.
Sony's trying to get it, I think, to the point where they are releasing them at the same time.
Oh.
I think
I
eventually
know
they'll do that.
Last of Us 2 is coming out.
Helldivers did
barely.
it. Helldivers came out.
They did.
I think it's one of the main games that they've dropped at the same time.
Other than that, I think the last one is Death Stranding 2. It's gonna be different. I mean, I beat the first one, and it was definitely, you have to be really into like that's a
Delivering mail?
specific, delivering mail. I think they're gonna do it differently this time. I think they're gonna add more of a combat side of
You've got to
things
be
to
you've
it.
got to be a UPS aficionado. if
Hey,
you're
I
gonna play
killed
that
it. I
game.
was delivering those
I
packages.
delivered
I
the
know.
packages on time.
Kind of fun.
Did
It
you ever play
was
Preston?
fun.
No, I just watched Hayden
Oh.
play it. It was hilarious.
It's kind of calming, honestly. They have a really good soundtrack. Like he hired Kojima would bring on like random. I think like Imagine Dragons like made a song for that game. They're like
What?
random people, and now there's like all these big actors that are in the new in the second one, and so
I know that one girl is. I know she's like a French
the blonde
actress. Yeah,
girl.
she's like in one of the James Bond movies.
Yeah, he gets a lot of random people, so I think people just like being around him, and so we'll see how this new one is. But other than that, I'm still hoping for them to bring Concord back and give it a
They
try.
won't.
They won't.
That's such
Just
a
hoping over here.
massive loss for them.
You know, you got that secret level episode coming out on Amazon.
I know.
They're gonna try to tie it all in.
Watch them try to they try to like shove that out in the rug. You're like, that episode went missing. Sorry.
Yeah,
Next.
lost it.
They'll come out with the other one the day after. Be like, and that one didn't happen.
Mm-hmm. Lots of good games though. 2025 will be a good year for games.
Looking good.
2025, yeah, I'm really excited for this year. I think there's gonna be a lot of cool stuff coming out. I think there's gonna, with the Switch 2 especially coming out this year, I think it'll be a huge boost, especially for Nintendo. I think this year has been a very like, and everybody kind of knows it. If you're a Nintendo fan, like, you know something's coming, so you're just anything that does come out, you're like, all right, cool, thanks. We know it's coming out soon. Can you just give us more information? They haven't had a Nintendo Direct. I don't know. I don't think since September or something like that.
And it was like a mini thing. I don't think they.
Yeah, so like they haven't really
Like an indie
had
one.
anything in months, and we know something's coming. So we know with the next video, because they especially said one of the directs this
By
year,
the
they're like,
end of the first
they're like,
quarter,
no Nintendo Switch information will be given out this time, because everybody knows or everybody's wanting it. Hey, can you guys talk about it?
No.
So
it'll be announced by the end. So it'll be by March 31st is when they'll announce it.
it's that's the end of quarter one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then they have their investor thing.
meeting.
I was looking at the timeline for Switch 1, and they actually surprisingly, it's because the Wii U sucked.
Yeah.
They had to rush out the Switch.
I love the
4
Wii U,
years.
but-
4 years, right? Was that cycle?
Yeah, it was like 4 or 5 years, but they announced it or did a video or whatever like December of
2016,
2016.
and it was out
And
by
then-
March, right, or April?
Yeah, and then January did it was right before their investor meeting for end of Q4 2016, and then they did like the reveal in January and then launched in March, which is nuts. Like less than 3 months. to
I remember
launch.
that too because I was on
console.
like one of our anniversary trips. I think we were in California at Hollywood, and I remember in my hotel watching like streams of people playing Breath of the Wild. I was like, I want to be home right now to play this. I was just like hooked on that thing. But man, it's gonna be an exciting time. 2025 is really gonna
2025 will be a
be.
big year.
Hopefully, everybody from this year has seen how the non-AAA scene, the indie scene in particular, has kind of taken off on Steam and some of the other games on console. And I hope AAA studios kind of see, hey, we don't have to put in hundreds of millions of dollars like Concord and fail horribly trying to get people to be on a live service game when we can kind of branch out a little bit, do smaller scale stuff, and see it flourish. And also go back into our catalog of IP as Microsoft's doing, for sure, and hopefully succeed with some of that stuff because that's a lot of stuff we can look forward to.
Yep.
Going off of what we know now, like Xbox should win the year, but then you kind of never know.
I thought
The
that a
unknown
couple
of
of times
Nintendo.
that Microsoft would win some years, and they literally did not have a single
you know,
game
I'm like-
in Game of the Year or a game at the Game Awards, and they haven't for.
Yeah,
They've-
Switch
they've
2,
exception.
you never know what they're gonna launch with too. Like I've heard rumors it might be Mario Kart 9. They might
know.
launch with. They might do a Mario Odyssey 2. Like there's so many other things they could do. A Wind Waker,
Odyssey 2 is a big
Twilight
one.
Princess remaster. Like they could do so many things that they haven't touched in years and have a super successful launch.
I could see a Mario, Metroid, Mario Kart, all coming out the year it releases because they have not had a mainline Mario game since Odyssey. I mean, they have Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and they've had Super
haven't
Mario
done
World
the
3D, Bowser's Fury,
Yeah.
Other than that, though, which was really just DLC for that game,
yeah,
they have not had anything. And Odyssey was huge. Odyssey was a huge game.
It was
Not
massive.
just like technically in how big the world was, but like it was a huge hit and continues to be a huge hit.
right.
So to just drop that series, and to not expand on that like they did with Galaxy, because Galaxy 2 was my favorite game on the Wii, by far my favorite game on the Wii. I love Galaxy 2. I think it's one of the best games ever made. So if they can expand on that, man, that game can be huge. So
And no one knows, like, because they haven't done a launch window or launch games at all.
I know.
And so
at
all of that, because there were a lot of surprises when the Switch launched. 'Cause
and
it was
their
like that
release
summer.
the release games of this past year, 2024, were pretty slim, and I think I know why.
They were.
Holding
Just
back a little
holding
bit.
back.
Holding back.
They are.
All right. Well, that was our year in review, what we're looking forward to. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I think we're going to try to do some stuff like I mentioned with maybe when the Switch 2 gets announced and we have like a look at that, and maybe we'll do a little video on that. Maybe try to keep up with the year. I like doing these little year in reviews. We did one long time ago for the channel.
Yeah, like 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's been like 2 or 3 years. at
Yeah,
least.
it's been a while. But I think I want to keep doing that. Maybe we can find some time. I like doing these little Sunday nights. It's just a little get together with the fam. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any comments, please leave them down in the comment section. If you guys have any questions for us, we can try to get to them. For anybody that even watches this, who knows? We don't have a lot of people following us on YouTube, but on Instagram, which I think I'm going to try to get this over there. Just a little, hey, we put a video out. Hopefully we get a little traction from there. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and hope you guys have a good rest of this year and hopefully a good 2025. Peace.
Thanks.